And let's bring in Aurel Braun. He's a professor of international relations and political science at the University of Toronto. Wang's calling for stronger cooperation on several fronts, as we just heard. Let's just dissect them individually if we can. One is better coordination over antivirus efforts. This comes, of course, as Seoul is grappling with another spike. Is there good potential for that?
There is. I mean, China has a good deal of expertise. This is where the virus began. And South Korea, until recently, was very good at controlling the virus. But as you noted, now it has increased. This has been the greatest increase in something like 8 months. So it shows us that you don't have permanent control, and consequently, it is wise to reach out to various countries that have capability, medical capability, experience. So it makes good sense. I mean, they are in the same region. They have an incredibly important trade relationship. We know that China is South Korea's biggest trading partner. So consequently, there is logic to discussing this and trying to find mutual solutions.
And that was going to be my next question. Trade, it's always front and center, as you mentioned, the largest trading partner. Is there a chance that they can deepen their economic and trade ties?
There is some, because they are both successful exporters. We know that China is the world's largest exporter, and South Korea has been spectacularly successful in a variety of areas, whether it is electronics or automobiles. So there is potential. But we always need to understand trade in the context of international politics. It does not operate in isolation. China has this Belt and Road Initiative. It wants to play an ever-growing role internationally, but the international system is undergoing changes. And there is a change coming, it seems, in the administration in Washington. And in all of these discussions, Washington ultimately will need to play a role as well. So it's one thing to talk about a kind of trilateral relationship between South Korea and China and Japan, but that would be at the regional level. There is that larger global context.
Well, you brought up the United States. It's interesting. China and South Korea, of course, just agreeing to this largest free trade agreement in history, the RCEP. Of course, the Trump administration shied away from these multilateral agreements, been trying to do trade on a one-on-one basis, so to speak. How will things change moving forward with the Biden administration, do you think?
There are certain things that we cannot know yet, because we don't even know the entire team that President-elect Biden is bringing. So we have the foreign minister. The foreign minister likely, or Secretary of State in this case, would likely bring sort of old democratic-style politics where there's consultation, there are attempts at cooperation, but also it would be a fairly tough line on a variety of issues. But we don't yet have the Secretary of Defense, and there are military tensions in the region. China is unhappy about the deployment of anti-aircraft and anti-ballistic missiles, which South Korea and the United States insist is mainly because of North Korea. But in Beijing, there is a concern that this could have a reach into China itself. So that would be a factor as well. There is uncertainty. We don't know what the political ramifications are going to be. And of course, there is the elephant in the room, and that is North Korea. A very unpredictable leadership, and one where we see nuclear proliferation. It is horizontal proliferation, which has been unwelcome by most countries. That is, North Korea has become a nuclear power. And they are also building more nuclear weapons, so there is increasing vertical proliferation. That is a danger to everyone.